Hello and welcome to the Let's Talk Football podcast. I believe this is podcast number 3. If you'd like to talk about what we're going to be discussing today in this third podcast, Ethan.
We are going to be discussing the 2-0 win over Wycombe for Stoke, player ratings for that game, predictions for Sunday's Premier League games, who's better. This is the debate question. Bruno Fernandes or De Bruyne? Then outside of Klopp / Pep, who is the best Prem manager in the league right now? And finally, is Southgate good enough for England?
Yeah, so some decent topics there, I think, to go through then. We'll start off, as we usually do, with Stoke, and it's actually something good this time. That's what I like about this one.
Yeah.
It's actually talking about a win this time and not about how we've lost and how disappointing it is. So, if you didn't know, today, Stoke were at home against Wycombe. We did do a preview for the game. So if you haven't seen it and you want to check it out, then if you will find it. I think it was one of our most recent videos before the Premier League show one. But 3 o'clock kickoff today, and it ended Stoke 2, Wycombe 0. What did you think about that one, Ethan?
Yeah, very good response to the midweek game. It was really attacking.
Yeah.
Which was nice to see, but that's the only thing though. If Danny Bat was actually fit to play with his head injury, we would have gone farther back today, I think. But since he hasn't played, we've gone 4-3-3, and it's proven why we should go 4-3-3.
Yeah. It's true, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, it was a good game, full of opportunities for Stoke to score. 2-0 is good. It's a win, which we desperately needed. I will say, I know everybody's thinking this right now as well, it could have been 5 or 6 to Stoke. If you watched or listened to the game, you'd know that, because, I mean, the amount of chances that we created, I was a bit worried at one point, almost in the sense that I was thinking, is it actually going to go in? Is it just going to be one of those days, where you just get dead close? And because Powell hit the bar as well at one point, you're just like, oh gosh. But I will saying that though, we were comfortable all game against them. It was sort of plain sailing, really. They're just not threatening enough at Wycombe, and you could tell that they're not championship worthy because we just looked a different level to them, even at 0-0.
Yeah, you could tell who was bottom of the table and who was near around the top.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's 3 points. It's a goal for Suter as well, which we said about. We've been saying about this. Him not winning enough headers in the attacking box, because he does it in his defensive box, obviously, but he doesn't do it as much off corners or set pieces when we're on the attack.
No.
And he did that today, so that was nice.
And he's done it.
He's done it finally. Thank you for that, Suter. And Davies, class player, class goal.
Yeah, really good goal. To be fair, I thought the move was brilliant.
Yeah.
So, fair play to Stoke today with that goal.
Yeah, and if we just quickly see, looking at it, this is how you can tell there's a difference, because Stoke had 66 possession and Wycombe only had 34. Stoke had 516 passes. Wycombe had 282.
Jesus.
So I'm not going to go through everything. The last one I'll say is Stoke had more shots on target and more shots in general than Wycombe. And even quality, you could tell there's a difference because Stoke had 74% pass accuracy and Wycombe only had 56% pass accuracy. So you could just see the differences there. Anyway, I'm not going to go through them all, obviously. But I just thought I'd note a couple of key ones there just to support the fact that Stoke did look a different level to Wycombe today. Anyway then, so we'll dive straight into it. Player ratings. I'll let you take the lead on this, Ethan, if you want to.
So Gunn played in goal yet again, deservedly going in goal.
Yeah.
Just dealt with everything. Pretty easy game for him, to be fair. I'll give him a 7.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Then Smith at right back. He actually got forward again. There's just 3 games on the trot where he played well. It's like, what's going on?
I know.
I'll give him a 7 as well. Norrington Davies, very, very, very good performance.
Yeah.
Especially in the second half, anyway. Just showed his quality and why he's in the Premier League. Well, why he is a Premier League player, because he was, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Just shows his quality. What a goal as well. Wow.
Yeah.
It was a really good goal, to be fair. So I'll give him an 8. Chester. I'll give him a 7. Played well defensively. New system, new formation. Tried today with the 4-3-3, which we wanted. So that was nice to see. Suter, I'm going to give him a 9 today. He played against this 6'7" striker, who, by the way, used to play for Vale, so he can get in the bin, mate. That Vale striker, get in the bin, mate. Prick. I'll give him a 9 because even though they're both 6'7", he just showed him his place, mate, and that's why he's been playing in League 2. That Uchi. So I'm giving him a 9, mate. So that's the defence done. McCall, I'll give him a 7 again. Just kept moving the ball around. Quite easy for him, to be fair. Allen, I'm going to give him a 5 because he should have scored.
Yeah, he had an absolute sister.
So, yeah, he should have scored, so he should have been 3-0 then. And there was many other chances what we should have scored.
Yeah.
Powell, really, really good performance. Back from the last 3, is it 2 games or 3? He's had poor performances.
Well, last game he was good, wasn't it? He got the goal against Swansea last game.
Oh yeah, but before that.
Yeah, I'd say he definitely had 1, maybe 2, but
yeah,
before that one.
So I'll give him an 8 today. He was really good though. He was unlucky to have a goal disallowed. Yeah. Brown, he's alright, isn't he, really? Played okay. I'll give him a 6. Clark, he played really well, Clark did. Yet again. He was just everywhere, really. Did he play on the left today?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah. So that was good then. And he set up the Suter's goal, so it was a nice assist for him.
Yeah.
Then Fletcher could have scored and could have had an assist.
Yeah.
So what they got, the assist was amazing, just to lay it off. to him, like inch perfect for Norrington Davies. So fair play to Fletcher. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah.
Then substitutes. How many did we have?
2. Oakley, Booth, and Thompson.
Oakley Booth came on for Brown. Thought it was a bit negative, that, but actually no, it wasn't, because he played on the right. Actually, it says so.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that was negative.
No, he could have done better with the onto the low cross of Davies in the second half, but I'll give him a 6.
Yeah,
decent performance for coming on. Thompson, just some legs in the last few stages of the game, I'd say. So I'll give him a 6 again.
Alright, then, and then finally, because I know we've got to do this last couple of times, but I thought I'd bring it back for this one. O'Neill out of 10, tactically, performance today with starting
really
line-up and subs and stuff out of 10.
I'll give a 9 for O'Neill.
Okay.
Good.
Fair enough. Yeah. Right, so I'll do mine then. So, gun and goal, solid. Give him an 8. He's just a solid keeper, to be honest, for us.
He is.
Smith, another positive performance, like Ethan said, pretty much his third one on the trot now, where he's actually done well, so we'll give him a 7. Norrington Davies, great performance, and he got a goal as well, which was well worked, so I'll give him an 8. Chester, he was alright, didn't do anything particularly wrong. He's just a lot more reliable than other players, other defenders that we have, especially like I'd much rather have him at the back than any other defender, other than Suter, obviously. So I give him a 7. Yeah, I thought he was solid. Suter, good performance, and he got a goal. So I'll give him, because that's quite impressive for a defender, so I'll give him an 8.5. John Obi McCall, good performance, I thought. Good in the middle, reliable, some good tackles, good movements. So I'll give him a 7. Joe Allen, he's poor today, to be honest. I know he is a solid midfielder, but everybody else are off games. He certainly had one today. Missed a couple of good chances, especially one in particular that he definitely should have scored. So I'm going to give him a 4. He was poor today. Powell was good. He had one moment where he was a bit of a letdown. He had an opportunity in the box where he could have either gone for goal himself or just easily squared it across for Brown to have a tap in, and he didn't do either properly, and it ended up going out, and that was an easy opportunity to just square it across to Brown. You could tell he didn't quite know what to do, and he almost tried to go for both, and it didn't work out, it just went out. So I'll give him a 6. Clark, very, very good performance, good on the attack, good influence for us going forward. I'll give him a 7, solid. Brown, good. I thought today was a good performance. I thought the fullback that he went up against, he outdid. I think it was Jacobson. He outdid Jacobson every time, and in terms of pace, you could just tell he got more ability than the fullback he was going up against as well. But I thought he had some good drive about him. I thought he was all right today. I thought a bit of an improvement. So I'll give him a 6.5 because I don't think he was quite as good as some other players, but he was still better than just average, I'd say. Fletcher up top, I thought, there was a chance where he could have scored, but he still had a good performance. He works well with players on the attack, whether it's scoring himself or helping set something up, and he is just very reliable and is a quality striker, so I'll just give him a 7. In terms of subs, Oakley Booth could have done more, but then he doesn't get a lot of time when he comes on, and I think with his age, if you want to see him produce more, you've got to give him more time than he is at the moment. So I'm just going to give him a 6. Thompson, thought he was all right. I still wouldn't pick him over the midfielders we started with today. I'll just give him a 6 as well. O'Neill, tactically, he picked exactly the side I would picked. I didn't really have an issue with his sub, so I'll give him an 8. He made at least his first sub earlier on today as well, which is good. Because I've said about him being reluctant to make subs, which is something I haven't liked. But yeah, he wasn't like that today. So yeah, solid to be fair. Right, I feel like something else was going to say, but I don't think so. So we'll just move on then, I suppose. Right. So that was the player ratings then. Quite positive to be fair. Which is good to see. So now we'll just quickly do the predictions for Sunday's Premier League games. Because we did, if you haven't seen it by the way, we did release our first episode of the Premier League show, where we did our predictions for the games that took place today, because as recording it is a Saturday night. So today we'll do the predictions for tomorrow's games. I will say I thought the games today were a bit bland, to be honest, from the Prem, but so hopefully we'll get something more tomorrow. But anyway, going on to tomorrow's fixtures then. We start off 12 o'clock kick-off, West Brom at home against Newcastle. What do you think the score's going to be there, Ethan?
In terms of form, I think West Brom are the better side, to be fair, right now. Newcastle are all over the place defensively and just in the whole club, to be fair. They're all over the place, so I think West Brom are going to win, but not by much because West Brom don't score many goals, as we know. So I'm going to say a 1-0 win for West Brom at home.
Fair enough. Alright then, so 2 o'clock kick-off. We have Liverpool at home against Fulham.
I think Liverpool should win this. If they don't, oh my god. But it should be a good win for Liverpool to try and turn fortunes around. So I'm going to say a 2-0 win for Liverpool.
Okay, fair enough. So the 4:30, the biggest game of the weekend, really. It's the main event of the weekend. Man City at home against Man United. What's going to happen there?
I think this is going to be everyone hypes these big games, but it's going to be boring.
Yeah, the last couple have just been 0-0 draws or whatever. So,
but I think we will see a couple of goals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say it's going to be a draw, 1-1. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So then the last game for Sunday then, 7:15, kick-off. Tottenham at home against Crystal Palace. Another, derby game there.
Yeah, London. Well, I hope Crystal Palace win, but I think Tottenham have got better quality in terms of players on the pitch, so I think it's going to be a 3-1 win for Tottenham.
Fair enough then. Right, well, I'll just go through mine quickly then. So West Brom at home against Newcastle. I'm going to say it'll be a 1-0 West Brom win. Yeah, I just think Newcastle are in a bit of a mess. Like Ethan said, Newcastle fans don't like their owner. They don't like Steve Bruce being manager. Steve Bruce is falling out with his own players. With prime example of that is what happened with Matt Ritchie earlier on in the week. So it's just a bit of a mess, really. So I'm going to say West Brom will win 1-0. Liverpool at home against Fulham. Liverpool's confidence will be massively dropped. I think they're slowly just slipping off. And I'm going to say Fulham will win 1-0. I think they're going to nick a win, actually, away against Liverpool. Anfield isn't a scary place to go to anymore for teams. The teams are actually starting to go there now and going, let's see if we can get all the points, because we know they're struggling. So I'll say 1-0 Fulham. Man City at home against Man United. I know most of them have been draws. This time I think it's going to be different, and I think it's going to be a 2-0 Man City win. Pep Guardiola is just going to outsmart Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on this occasion. And City's quality, because City have got a better team on paper than United, and I think that's just going to shine through tomorrow. Tottenham at home against Crystal Palace. I think Tottenham are shocking, really, to be honest. Yeah, and I think Crystal Palace are going to win 1-0. So that's what I'll go with. Right, so then moving on then. So now we go on to the few debate questions that we've got. So we'll get straight into it then. So the first one is, obviously Bruno is praised by many for being, some people are saying, the best player that there is in the Premier League. But that's not quite the question today. The question is, who's better, Bruno or De Bruyne?
Well, it's very difficult to say who is the better player. Like, there's many arguments and many pros, many cons about the players. But I think, in my opinion, it is De Bruyne.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got no weak foot. He's got no weak foot.
No.
If you saw the pass against West Ham, he did.
Yeah.
For the goal for Ruben Diaz, I think it was, in the first half. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I know exactly which one you're on about.
It's just
a brilliant ball.
As a neutral fan for the Premier League, it's just so nice to watch someone with that good of quality. Don't get me wrong, Bruno is a good player, but does he do it on the big day against the top six? No, he can't do it against the top six yet. He could, and he can, but he just doesn't do it, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd say De Bruyne is better. I wouldn't even say it's that close, to be honest. Bruno's... Let's just be clear, right? Bruno's a very good midfielder. And he's got good quality, but he is massively overrated. I think people need to calm down a little bit and realise, he's not the best player in the Premier League, because players like De Bruyne are better than him. I mean, I'd rather have Phil Foden than Bruno. So, and look how much younger Phil Foden is than Bruno. So,
yeah,
and I'd rather go with Foden, to be honest. I think Foden, considering his age, has shown more and done more for City. And say Bruno. I know Bruno's done a lot for United, but that's just because a lot of United's players are giving average performances at the moment. So good, De Bruyne. I was actually going to say the point that you just made as well, because I've seen a couple of people say it as well, and it's so true that Bruno, he performs, but he doesn't against the top six. He just goes quiet against the top six. Most recent example of that is the 0-0 against Chelsea. Where was he?
Yeah.
Quiet. Nothing going on. Same with when United drew 0-0 away against Liverpool. At Anfield, I watched that game. Bruno was awful. Not just silent. He played awful in that game. Misplaced passes everywhere. He was actually a hindrance to United on that game. I can remember watching that. We all said that. at the time, the people I was in a video call with about it. And yeah, so I'd say De Bruyne. So, moving on then. Because when people say who is the best manager in the Prem, usually you see people either say Klopp or Pep. So I thought that's just boring to ask who's the best manager, because it's probably just going to be one of us either saying Klopp or Pep. So I thought, let's just take Klopp and Pep out of the equation and say they're not in this debate. Outside of Klopp and Pep, who is the best Premier League manager, Ethan, in your opinion?
I think,
Because I've got mine.
in terms of how much he's done for the club already, I think it's got to be one man. Carlo Ancelotti.
Oh, God's sake, that's who I was going to say as well.
Mate, he's such a nice guy as well.
You know, it's so annoying. You just hope he says somebody else so that you can be different to him. I'm just sitting in my head. I'm thinking, don't you dare say Carlo Ancelotti right now. And then he goes, "You've got to be one man, Carlo."
It's got to be Carlo Ancelotti.
Well, it has, yeah. He's potentially. Everton could go into the top 4.
Exactly. Yes, David Moyes has done all this work with West Ham, and he's brought some good players. And don't get me wrong, but
he's not proven. He's not. Yeah.
Carlo Ancelotti has brought players in who you would never thought would come to the club ever.
Yeah, Rodriguez.
Alan,
yeah.
What?
Plus, as well, just to pick up on your point about David Moyes, the difference between Ancelotti and David Moyes is David Moyes isn't a proven manager like Ancelotti is. Ancelotti's done it and won trophies at a few different clubs. He was already proven before he came here, and he still went with Everton, who at the time, some people might have said would be a downgrade for him. But you look at where they are right now, it's not looking like that now, and that's because of the players he's got in. It's also credits out Everton's owner willing to invest in the club and saying that he will carry on investing, which is good. And I think he's just a tactical genius, and I think he's going to take Everton to heights that they've never seen before. Give it a couple of seasons, give it a couple more seasons, and I'm telling you now, in 2-3 years' time, we will be having conversations where we go, are Everton going to win the Premier League? Because they look like they might. And I'm saying that in 2-3 years' time, if Ancelotti's there and he's working his magic like he is now, there's no reason why they can't keep going higher, because look at how far they've come, right? They struggle to get top 6, usually. They usually drop outside the top 6. They're now looking like they're going to get top 4. If they get top 4 and they get used to playing European football as well as Premier League, and they get some good additions in, there's no reason why they can't start knocking at the top 3. And then once you start knocking at the top 3, in a couple of years' time, you could maybe work to knock on the door of the top 2. And once you're doing that, you are one of those teams that's in a race.
Yeah.
So, I think it's got to be Ancelotti.
Even if they don't get top 4, Europe is still a brilliant achievement for
Everton. Yeah, because they don't do that. They don't even get top 6, usually. So it is massive.
So it's a brilliant achievement anyway.
And even players that he hasn't even players that aren't the main headline players for Everton, he's got them playing better. What's his name? Tom Davies. He's been brilliant in midfield. He's won a couple of Player of the Month awards now for Everton this season, the last few months. And I watched a few games, even Man City when they lost 3-1. The Liverpool 2-0, I watched that. He's just, in their 2 top sides, he was quality in both. So good, quick on the turn, key tackles, absolutely brilliant under Ancelotti. Alex Iwobi has all of a sudden improved his performance when he's coming on off the bench. He seems to have got 10 times better and more effective. Gomes as well, he's been quality when he's coming on, and I just think, it's starting, to be fair. I just think their team's just gone to another level of quality, and Sigurdsson as well is massively improved under Ancelotti. If you remember the cup game where Tottenham played Everton, at Goodison Park. That assist that he did for Bernard's goal, which I think was the winner, such a clever, well-executed little chip ball over the defence, over Tottenham's defence, to put it on a plate for Bernard. If you haven't seen that, go and just search it up, like Everton Tottenham Cup game, honestly, because it's just a brilliant assist, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, Carlo Ancelotti then for both of us, to be fair.
I think with Everton as well, like defensively, they've improved as well.
Yeah.
Like Michael Keane, he's gonna be in contention of the England call, guarantee it. I think he will be. He's played so well for England. Everton.
Yeah.
So I don't get why he doesn't get a call up. I think he's really good. And if he pairs up with a good centre back like John Stones, we could see a good partnership there.
I mean, fair enough.
But who knows? Who knows?
I don't think...
Pickford as well. He's improved as well. Like the saves he's making are really good saves.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair enough, really. I mean, for me, I think talking about Keane, I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think he's quite good enough for England, but I think he's good. He's good for Everton, and he has got better under Ancelotti. We'll say that. So then, our final debate question then is Southgate good enough for England? Because I put this one in there because I've seen a lot of, especially a couple of months ago, I've seen a lot of fans going, England fans going, he has his favourites, he doesn't try other players because he has his favourites like Mason Mount or whatever, and all this stuff. So he favours some players over others. I don't like how he keeps, giving Pickford loads of games when Pickford, for majority, has not been great or as good as he used to be. A lot of fans said that we need somebody else and so on. So, in your opinion, Ethan, is Southgate good enough? Or, even if he's not bad, should we be looking at, do we need something better?
I don't think we need anything better just yet. Like, don't forget, he's done so many good. We've achieved a lot, like in the past 4 years, let's say. It is 4 years, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
With the World Cup going to the semi-finals, that was a big achievement. Yes, we did lose to Croatia, but still a good achievement going to the semi-finals.
Yeah, it's true, and that's
and we won our first penalty shootout, which we haven't done in a long time, and I mean a long time. So it was coming.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I can remember saying that myself the other day about the penalty shootout thing. It's just, we have never performed well in penalty shootouts, and before the World Cup, it had been announced that England had, Southgate had demanded that they get people in to coach the players on how to deal with the pressure of taking a penalty. And they spent weeks with these professionals on how to deal psychologically to take a penalty. And no other manager's done that. Southgate was the one that got that to happen, got those professionals in, and we won a penalty shootout. So clearly something changed, clearly that worked, and that's from Southgate doing that. So fair play to him. The semi-final as well, like even says, getting to semi-final still massive. We haven't got that far in a major tournament, especially like a World Cup in a while. So yeah, and I think I would like to see England under Southgate for the Euros, and if he majorly messes up the Euros, then we can always look and reevaluate and think, is he actually good enough, or do we need to change it? If he does drastically flop in the Euros, then maybe that's something you have to look at again. But I think you've at least got to go in these Euros, because if you look at the last major competition run, he got us all the way to a semi-final, so it's not fair to not give him another major tournament, and we'll see how he does. I suppose that's all stuff for the future. Although I will say, I think there's about 2 or so more weeks of football, league football, and then we've got an international break.
Have we?
Yeah, we've got an international break coming up in a couple of weeks. I'd already been told that by somebody else, but then I also heard it on commentary today for Stoke. We've got it's an international break in a couple of weeks, so that'll be another thing to see Southgate. And talking about Southgate, see him in action again in a couple of weeks' time, sort of playing. Well, these will start to become the last few sort of friendly or whatever matches before we get to like tournament mode, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we both agree that he is good enough. He needs at least this competition, and then we can go from there. Really, is what I would say. But that is everything for today's podcast.
Yeah.
So, so I can't. It's actually shocked me. I almost feel like it's flown by doing this one today. Feels like we only just started. What did you say?
That's to be fair.
Yeah, no, I feel like we only started it a few minutes ago. But as I always say, we hope you do enjoy listening to this one, because we certainly enjoyed making it. Jack didn't want to do it today, so it was just me and Ethan for this one. But we will make sure that we'll always try and make sure, regardless of whether it's Jack or whoever, we'll always try and make sure that we can try and get another person in if we need to at the time, because I think it's quite a nice dynamic to have 3 people on it. But it was quite late on when we found out that it'd just be me and Ethan, unfortunately. So we couldn't really do much about it, at least for this one. But we will be for future, if there is anybody who needs to drop out or anything for an episode, for whatever reason, we will be trying our best to see if we can get somebody to join in on the conversation for it. But even in saying that, to be fair, me and Ethan still enjoyed doing it, just as me and Ethan, and hopefully you guys enjoy listening to it. Like I say, we do try our best with these. We are working hard to make it as good as possible. So, and we've already spoke about this as well. We are looking at things in the future that we could possibly look at doing to make it even better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please do just stick with us. We will try and keep improving our quality. And I think summer's going to be massive for that, guys. I think that's when we could be at our prime. For it is in the summer. So, but we hope you enjoyed listening. And obviously, if you've got anything you want to comment, any suggestions or thoughts or opinions, put it down below. Also, if you did enjoy listening to it, please like and subscribe. It would be massively appreciated. Is there anything you want to add, Ethan?
Just thanks for all the support recently, and I'll see you in a bit.
Alright, guys, see you in the next one. See you later, guys.
In a bit.